Prepare for something amazing.
Welcome back to Mojito with Majeeto for episode 7, and I'm joined with a legendary Impractical Joker, Murr himself, aka James Murrary. What's up, man?
Hi, buddy. How are you? It's good to
I'm
meet you.
good. How are you?
It's awesome. I mean, we've been talking for like a year, so it's great to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's such an honor to have you here. I think Impractical Jokers is one of my all-time favorite shows. It's the greatest unscripted show of all time, and
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I'll
glad
take
to have you.
Thank you.
And first things first, how are you, man? How's the family?
Everyone's good. I got two puppies by my side watching the interview as we speak.
Amazing.
Everything's good. We're good, man. We had a good holiday, and we go back to work on Impractical Jokers in about holy cow in about 2 weeks. But we're on TV right now with new episodes in America. We go back to work at the beginning of February. We start shooting season 12 here. So
Yeah.
on TV later this year.
So some of you don't already know, aside from Practical Jokers, Murr has a book titled Don't Move, and it has a movie coming out later this year, and Murr is actually a producer on it. And the film is releasing later this year, and I actually have a copy of the book that you signed.
Do you?
I was totally surprised that you signed it.
Oh,
And
wow,
I don't
that's
have
awesome.
it right now with me. But
Have
it's
you
in my
have you read
bedroom.
the book?
No, I gotta admit, I'm terrible at reading books, but
You're gonna
I
love
will
it.
try to read it.
I promise you're gonna fly through it. It's gonna be the best, easiest read ever. I think our books our thrillers are like immensely readable, so you'll fly right through it.
I'm excited. So, how are you feeling about your book turning into an actual film adaptation? And how
It
has
was
it felt like working on a set like that?
it was wild, very different from the TV show, of course, because I don't know, there's like a lot more people. Our TV show is like 60 people or so work on the show. The movie set, there's like over 100 people, and they were working a lot longer. It took like a year to get off the ground. We just shot it about 2 months ago. So literally yesterday, I was in the edit bay for like 6 hours doing the producer's cut of it. It comes out at the end of this year in theaters and streaming. So it was wild. It was, we've been writing these thriller novels for a long time, always with the intention of making them into movies or TV shows. So our first one was Don't Move. And then we already started working on You Better Watch Out. The dogs are playing with each other. Oh my God. I'm sorry. They stopped at a second puppy. And so our first puppy, doesn't know how to deal with him yet, because she was the sole puppy in the house for 5 years. But now she's actually playing with him. I freaking love it. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
So we already started work on the next movie, You Better Watch Out, which will come out in 2026.
Nice. On the same topic of your writing career, what inspired you or motivated you to start writing?
I'm a huge horror fan, and I see lots of my favorite horrors behind you, which is wild.
Yeah.
I'm a huge horror fan. I would love to know, what are your favorite horror movies? Let's say, hypothetical question, okay? Let's say you're flying from Dubai, you're traveling, you're going on vacation somewhere. The plane crash lands on a deserted island, right? You were the only person alive on the island. It's just you, and somehow on the island there's like a DVD player and a DVD and a TV that works somehow, right? And you're allowed to bring one horror movie with you for the rest of your life, the next many decades. That's the only horror movie you get to watch for the next 50, 60 years. What do you choose?
It's so hard, but it's like maybe The Shining, which is a complete masterpiece,
Of course.
or The Evil Dead 2.
Wow.
Completely entertaining movie.
Wow. What did you think of the reboot, the new Evil Dead?
Evil Dead Rise? Oh my goodness, I was blown away.
I
Such
freaking
a
loved it.
masterpiece. Yeah.
It was so good. Like Q and I are huge Evil Dead fans. I think it's his favorite horror movie, and huge fans of the franchise. And the new one was great. I was really surprised by it. But for me, I would choose either Event Horizon. Oh no, wait. I'm debating between Event Horizon, John Carpenter's The Thing, Aliens over Alien, or The Descent. I go Aliens.
Nice. I think I have a little bit of a hot take, but I think the first Alien movie is better than Aliens.
I'm a huge Cameron fan. I like that Aliens is as much action as it is, I like as a pure horror. I agree with you. I think Alien is better, but as a whole movie, action, horror, thrills, laughs, I think Aliens wins.
Totally. Now, on the topic of Impractical Jokers, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, which may seem surprising to some people because I don't talk about it that much other than my Instagram stories, but it's so hilarious and it never gets old. But do you guys ever worry that you might run out of such crazy ideas?
I'll tell you what, this is not an exaggeration. Season one of the TV show, many, many years ago, it was 15 years ago. We shoot season one, we get to the end of the season, and we literally, the four of us were like, there's nothing else to do. We did everything. We played doctors, lawyers, dentists, pharmacists, you name it, we did it in season one. And at the end of the season one, like 30 episodes, we're like, what do we do? There's nothing left to do. There's no more ideas. And here we are, 15 years later, still come up with new ideas. I think that's our responsibility as comedians, as performers, and as creators of the show, is to constantly make sure the show evolves and twists and turns in new ways. It keeps the format advancing. That's our job. That's why we get paid, And I think we've done it, man. I think the show has evolved over the past 15 years, and we keep finding new ways to twist the format. I mean, I don't know if it's aired there yet or if you've seen it, but I mean, 2 months ago, I faked my own death on the TV show.
Yeah.
Like
That's
while
crazy.
reading this book on top of a race car, I faked my own death. I wanted to do that for 5 years, that punishment. So that's our job, is to keep the show moving and changing. And I mean, has there ever been a show where a reality show where a performer faked his own death or near fatal injury, something like that, like near fatal injury? I don't think it's ever been done. That's our job.
Incredible stuff.
Coming up with new twists on the format.
I'm so proud of you guys that you reached this far. And that also brings me to my next question. How could you even end a show like Impractical Jokers? Am I right? Have you ever thought of any ideas for the final season?
I try not to think that way because I have the dream job. It still goes, but keep in mind, on TV, you don't know if you have another job next year. Like you get picked up season at a time. So we always get to the end of the season. Hi, puppy. We always get to the end of a season not knowing if there's a TV show next year,
Yeah.
So I don't know. We were about to start shooting season 12. We wrap it September 15th of this year. That might be the end. I don't know. I do hope that if the end does come one day, which it will, of course, that we'll know it in advance and can do something appropriate as the series finale, But that's not the way TV works. You rarely know if the show is going to go further, So
Yeah.
So all we can do is do what we love and do the best we can, and hope it keeps going. And it has worked so far.
Amazing. Now, a few seasons back, I remember you guys were bringing a lot of celebrities for the show. And I even heard from the podcast Hey Babe with Sal and Chris DeStefano. Sal said that once you guys were talking about bringing Michael C. Hall, who played Dexter. And other than him, who are other celebrities that were in talks to being on Impractical Jokers? And who would you personally like to have on the show?
I would love Michael C. Hall. I met him a few times at a Comic-Cons, and he is a fan of the show. And I met his wife, and the family are fans of the show. So I think I did the ask. I said, hey, if you ever want to be on the TV show, let me know. So I think I'm going to see him again coming up in March. I might push harder. I would love him. We're huge fans. I would love Jack Black to be on the TV show. I would love who else? I tried to get Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, to be on the show. Wow. He's a fan. His family watches the show. I met him at Comic-Con a couple of times, and he directly said to me, he goes, I love the show, but I get too nervous watching it. I could never. I was like, you get nervous watching it. I get nervous making it. So we'll see. But he'd be great too.
I also remember hearing in some podcasts that the Tenderloins group, which is your comedy group with the Jokers, have tried making TV pilots for comedy shows before the Jokers. Yeah. Could you possibly speak on the experience on that and why they didn't work out?
Jokers is our third TV show, the first one to get on TV. We sold a pilot, like an improv comedy show, to a network in America called A&E. We shot a pilot, didn't go to series. Then we shot a sketch comedy pilot for a network in America back then called Spike TV. We shot a sketch comedy show starring us, shot the pilot, didn't go to series. So Impractical Jokers was our third attempt and probably our final attempt. Like the other guys had regular jobs. Q was a fireman. He was FDNY fireman in New York City. Joe was a salesman. I worked in TV development. Sal owned a bar and was a bartender.
Yeah.
We already had regular jobs. We were already 34 years old. So I think Jokers was our last attempt, our final attempt to try one more time to get on TV. And there you go. Thank God we tried one last time.
Could you speak on what the other TV shows could have been about?
Yeah, one was an improv comedy show where we film people from a distance. Like, let's say you go to the Burj Khalifa, right? You're hanging out outside in the whole courtyard area, the fountains, all the amazing fountains and walkways they have around there in the mall. And let's say from a distance, you start filming people engaged in conversation, a couple arguing. They don't know you're filming them. You're filming from 100 feet away. Another couple making out, a guy trying to, sell products to tourists, but he's very animated. You film them from a distance, and then in front of a live studio audience, you play that footage back while professional comedians dub over those people's voices and create brand new scenes, brand new comedy. It's just a lot of fun. It's a great idea. Sold it, shot the pilot, didn't go to series. The sketch comedy show that we sold was about the four of us living. Somebody just posted it. Somebody just posted a picture from it literally this morning. I was on social media and saw myself tagged in a post from that original pilot, which is crazy. Here it is. This picture is from that original pilot.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. I don't know where they got that photo, but I mean, it's from 20 years ago. It was a sketch comedy show about us and growing up in Staten Island, New York, where we grew up, and being best friends that have slightly altered views on reality. Like we live in our own universe. Like my character I was playing in the show was like I was obsessive compulsive, like this very odd. Sometimes I play the character on Impractical Jokers in challenges. Joe was a super salesman. Sal was like a neurotic mess. And Q was like a courageous fireman, So it was like hyper versions of our real personalities that we sometimes do on Impractical Jokers to this day. Like I sometimes play this crazy character on Jokers where I have that creepy outfit on and I play this kind of really odd character. It's just based on that hyper exaggerated character I play from that sketch comedy show years ago.
Oh, wow.
It's not real. I'm not that way in real life.
Yeah. And you guys always pull off the most insane stuff on the show. What are some ideas that True TV or the crew talked to you guys about for Impractical Jokers, but you had to draw the line somewhere for?
Good question. Really good question. There's very few lines we won't cross, because I mean, think of what we've done. Oh, coming up this Thursday on TV, I think is only the second time in 15 years someone's taken a swing at me. One time I got punched.
Oh, yeah.
And then coming up this Thursday on television in America is a punishment where a guy took a swing at me, but I was too fast for him and I backed away. I knew it was coming, so I backed away. He missed me.
Yeah.
The punishment was I lose the episode this Thursday. The punishment was I had to go up to people's cars in a parking lot, and when they come out of a store, they would catch me peeing on their car. But I'm not actually peeing. Like I had a backpack on, and it ran through my clothes, and there's a button, and the guys controlled the button, and it made it look like I was peeing on people's cars. And the punishment was I just couldn't stop when they confronted me. I had to keep peeing, It's so simple. If you came out of a store, you brought your dry cleaning to the store, we're going to a supermarket, you come out and you see a guy, some dude, some balding middle-aged guy peeing on your car, you lose your mind, right? You lose your mind. And that was very, very, sometimes the simplest ideas are the funniest and the most dangerous, It was just so simple and so dangerous. And one guy took a swing at me and he missed. So, there's very few lines we won't cross. We won't cross anymore, because I think Impractical Jokers is truly a study of human behavior
Yeah.
under the guise of a hidden camera show. And I think we've become experts at knowing just how far we can push people without crossing the line, or knowing that if we're going to cross the line, when to back off so we don't get put in the hospital, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to that bit right there. Just hearing about it is already getting me tearing up of laughter. And Practical Jokers is still such an insanely popular show, and it's been getting even more popular from TikTok. How have you been feeling about the popularity rising and the show getting a lot of memes made out of?
The memes are hysterical. So I tour live around America, and sometimes I'll go to the UK too. I do like the guys and I do like a group tour, and then we each do like solo comedy tours. So I'm on tour right now with my solo show, and
Yeah.
literally a 10-minute section of my solo show is just on the memes of us on social media, because some of them are hysterical, some are crazy or batshit crazy. I love them; they're great. So it's been interesting. The past like year or two, I've had an increasing number of people come up to me and say, "Oh my God, I love Impractical Jokers. I watch it on TikTok all the time." I was like, "Watch it on TV. Please watch it on TV, because that's what keeps us employed." You know, when people are like, "Oh my God,
Exactly.
I love you on YouTube." I was like, I'm not on YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube, but that's not how it makes my career. And that's not
Yeah.
what pays my mortgage. So please watch it on television. And then if you want to watch clips on YouTube or clips on TikTok. So I love it. It's great that we found a whole new fan base, but also please watch it on television.
Yeah. And also speaking about the group tours, we know on the end of the Drive Practical Jokers tour, Joe Gatto actually made a surprising appearance. Will there be another tour by the Jokers, possibly for the final season?
uh, Good question. Well, I don't know when the final season will be. Hopefully, there'll be many more seasons, right? Good
Yeah.
question. I think there might come a day where the guys and I go on tour together again. We'll see. I would like to think so. I hope so, because we did a show at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, maybe back in March, or oh no, wait, back in May of this year, of last year, and Gatto came on stage at the end, and the audience erupted. They've seen the four of us
Yeah.
together again. And then the final show of the tour a few months ago, Joe came out again to surprise the audience. So I would like to think that there will be a tour of all of us together again in the future. Yeah.
And other than tours, would you want to like bring the group to like international countries, like unique international countries like the UAE or something like that, and do a
I would
Practical
love to.
Jokers there?
I would love to. I've been to Dubai. I don't know if the other guys have been there yet, but I've been there and loved it. I would love to come. We before COVID, when COVID was happening, we had already planned a tour of India and Australia.
Oh,
And because, believe it or not, our biggest fan base is not even America. Our biggest fan base is India. We
nice.
get so much fan mail from India, and then we get so much fan mail from the UK and from Australia that I was like, we have to do a tour there. You know, we tour the UK and Ireland all the time, but I was like, guys, let's go. So we're planning a whole Australia and India tour, and then COVID shut it down. You know,
Yeah.
2 years, and then we had moved on with the tour dates. So I would love to go. I would love to visit the UAE on tour. You tell me, is there enough fans there?
I definitely feel like it's a very well-known show, and there's probably so many fans everywhere.
Yeah,
But
I hope
I
so.
definitely
I would
feel
love
like you
to.
guys like could do like a special episode here in UAE in Dubai. That would be hilarious.
I wonder what the tolerance is for hidden camera shows there. I don't know what the laws are, because remember,
Yeah.
like in America, like we can't film Impractical Jokers in like half the states, because
Oh,
half the states have laws against hidden camera. So we'd have to look at the what the law is for the UAE on hidden camera. It depends. Every
yeah.
country is different, and in America, every state is different. So that's why we film in certain locations in America. We can't film in half the country.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And last but not least, what does comedy mean to you?
Really good question. I'll tell you what. I think the biggest compliment we get is families who come up to us and they'll say, look, like in this day and age, everyone's like seems to be against each other. Everyone's fighting all the time. Everyone's at each other's throats. No one can see eye to eye. The biggest compliment I think we get is that a family would come up to us and say, Murr, you remind us of the days when the family would get together at dinner time and could all agree on one show to watch. The show that you forget about life, you forget about all the craziness in the world, you forget about the problems in the world, and for a half hour, you just get to laugh from your gut and cry and with laughter and have that family bonding that doesn't exist anymore. It used to
Yeah.
exist when I grew up, and it used to exist when our parents grew up, but it doesn't come around anymore. That the whole family, the kids, the parents, the grandparents, agree on one show that for that brief half hour makes the problems of the world disappear, makes them forget about it for just a half hour, and makes their family come together uh, in a way they would not otherwise do so. And I think that that's what comedy is bringing people together and showing that no matter what's going on, at the end of the day, we're still all just humans. We're still just love to laugh and love to be together. And I just making people's lives better one half hour at a time means the world to me. And that's what comedy is for me.
Wow, that is truly meaningful stuff, man. And it very much means the world to have you on Mojito with Mojito for episode 7. And that's it for this episode, guys. It's genuinely meant the world to me, and it's such a massive way to enter 2025. And it was so amazing to have you on. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, and follow Murr and I's social medias. And tune in to the latest Impractical Jokers episodes. And Murr, would you like to say anything to the fans in the Middle East or the fans watching us right now?
Lots of love to everyone watching. And thank you so much, my friend, for having me. It's been a pleasure. And I'm so glad we finally got to do this. Lots of love, everyone.